So today I'll be reviewing Pokemon Journeys episode 58. So literally nothing happened in this episode. If you've seen the episode, you probably want your time back, or maybe you enjoyed the episode, but to me this episode gave us nothing. So small recap of the first half. Team Rocket's Pelipper decides it wants to use the gotcha machine, so it does, and it lets out a bunch of Gulpin. Then one of them ends up on Goh and then Ash. Then they end up rolling through the town, end up at the lab. Then they say yay, and that fixes the problem and ends the crisis. So this half literally gave us nothing but nonsense. My favorite part of this half was probably the art in some scenes. Like, it had nice lighting when they were in the lab, and also we got a nice overview shot of Vermilion City, which was wallpaper worthy. But everything else was a mess, so this half gets a 1 out of 10. Aside from some nice art and animation, there was nothing good about that half. So now for a quick summary of the second half. Wobbuffet decides that it's his turn to use the gotcha machine, and he ends up with a Chewtle. Next thing you know, the Chewtle leads them to the park because it somehow knows the entire map of Kanto and where the park is, even though it's from Galar. Then Chewtle meets a Turtwig who becomes its rival, and they have their turtle race. Then a bunch of other turtle Pokemon decide to join in too, and we find out that they all belong to the Turtle Master Roshi of Pokemon, who just happens to look like Mr. Fuji, and the episode ends with him taking his turtles back to the Kami house, and Chewtle wins the race because they all leave, and that pretty much ends the episode. This by far was the worst episode of the series for me. This is down there with this one Sun and Moon episode. This episode gave us absolutely nothing. There was no development or characterization, which is somewhat expected in a two-parter, but this episode didn't even make up for it by at least being funny or entertaining. If I had to rate this episode, I would say it was a waste of money to animate, but my biggest problem with these episodes is that we keep getting these instead of World Championship battles, and I honestly don't get it. This is probably Ash's biggest goal in the entire series so far, and the writers just don't seem to be taking it seriously. It's been almost 60 episodes, and we've probably seen less than 10 battles from Ash, which makes no sense considering his goal. A recap episode of the series so far with Ash and Goh reflecting on what they've been through would have been better than this episode, and it would have saved them money. Not that they need to anyway. So I give this episode a 1 out of 10. Just go ahead and skip that and don't look back. But with all that being said, thanks for watching, and bye.